Born to break the tyrant's back, built for war and counterattack. Buffalo souls, engines ignite, iron horns gleam through the fight. Dibison's charge in black and steel, every salvo a battle seal. On planet sea they carve their name in fire, smoke, and glory's flame. Monster machine! Gladiators fight, red draws fly, but Dibisons make them bleed and cry. Monster machine! Gladiators fight, red draws fly, but Dibisons make them bleed and cry. Monster machines! Gladiators fight, red draws fly, but Dibisons make them bleed and cry. Monster machines! Gladiators bite, red draws fly, but Dibisons make them bleed and cry. Monster machines! Dibison's fury, thunder blast, charge the lines and smash the past. Face the death, Soros, fear no flame. With cannon wrath they stake their claim. Iron-born in close they crush. Mad thunder shields the final rush. Steel staff, justice, fight or fall. Dibison's answer, battle's call. Dibison's fury, thunder blast, charge the lines and smash the past. Face the death, Soros, fear no flame. With cannon wrath they stake their claim. Iron-born in close they crush. Mad thunder shields the final rush. Steel staff, justice, fight or fall. Dibison's answer, battle's call. March with our soldiers at the side. Rhinos scream through the crimson sky. They fight for peace through ash and rain, but bring the storm when tyrants reign. Gladiators roar, the dragons die, but none who face them leave alive. The jungle's sand or burning snow, the Dibison brings the final blow. Monster machines! 20 barrels on command, a final stampede. They make their stands and never spell, but battles climb. Dibisons rise again through time. Monster machines! Dibison fury battle cry. Steel shot titans, do or die. With Rhinos wings and that thunder might, they bring the dawn, they bring the fight. Charge the field, break the line. The Dibison's wrath is by design. When sea needs heroes carved in flame, the Dibisons earn eternal name. Dibison's fury battle cry. Steel shot titans, do or die. With Rhinos wings and that thunder might, they bring the dawn, they bring the fight. Charge the field, break the line. The Dibison's wrath is by design. When sea needs heroes carved in flame, the Dibisons earn eternal name. Monster machines! Continent plains where steel beasts charge and leave bloodstains. The Hellid Republic holds the line, a shining cause by fate designed. From the shadows of the dark continent, the Gylos rise, malevolent intent with saber teeth and iron fists. Their black machines scream through the mist. Soldiers crawl and they won't fight, but Gylos roar and join the fight. From ancient rights their war begins, now only steel and fire win. Monster machine! Soldiers kill totality. Red of the grave will live and tyrants die. Zoids to Zoids, guide a land. Republic steel remains its stand. Shipwreckers clash, saber tigers screams. The lander scorch the dream. Gojulos rises to smoke and flame, and iron calms off the shade. Spawner machines, playful continent plains, where steel beasts charge and leave bloodstains. The Hellid Republic holds the line, a shining cause by fate design. The shadows of the dark continent, the Gylos rise, malevolent intent with saber teeth and iron fists. Their black machines scream through the mist. Soldiers crawl and they won't fight, but Gylos roar and join the fight. From ancient wrecks their war begins, now only steel and fire wins. Monster machine! Soldiers claw and fist in the air, Gylos roar and join the fight. From ancient wrecks their war begins, now only steel and fire wins. Skytroops red still got fall. Hailing hard, outlast them all. Raise your fist and scream with pride. The Zoids of freedom will alive. The warfare grows the planet sea. The tyrants here on battle cry. From godlike beast to raptor speed, we fight for honor, not for greed. Skytroops red still comes fall, but they hailing hard, outlast them all. Raise your fist and scream with pride. The Zoids of freedom will not hide. The war for planet Z, and the tyrants hear our battle cry. Now iron cones lie in chains, and red horn wrecks rust in the rain. Shield figures walk the fields they won, and see tread slowly toward the sun. Our world, this is our fight. Zoids of hailing, burn through the night. From planet Z we rise, we fall. The freedom stands above them all. Swarm like worms of war, but laser jaws even every score. Red horn stomp with ruthless pride, but Godzilla meets them eye to eye. Jungles thick and burning skies, the shield layers heart where valor flies. Against the saber tidalize, their claws strike true, and public never dies. Clone goes through her, public never dies. Monster machines, also machines, and the nose swarm like lords of war. The freedom burns with a righteous spark. Red horn stomp with ruthless pride, but Godzilla meets them eye to eye. Jungles thick and burning skies, the shield lookers run where battle flies. For coverage never turns, jumpers blows, they fuel the dark. The freedom burns with a righteous spark. Hold their fires rise but never last. Hell extends, the die is cast. Monster machines.
Metallic giants rise from lying grounds. Blue guardians down the heart. Lights and fury in the sky.